Lori did not tell the public that she would be leaving early until 1 hour and 8 minutes into the meeting. We're gonna play back a radio interview that Lori Blong participated in last Tuesday. So that is this past Tuesday with Greg Anderson. It's about a 21-minute interview. We're not going to do. We're going to skip through a little bit. There's some stuff that's not really applicable, and we're just. When I heard this, I thought it was so interesting on many levels. In one way, it felt like kind of a damage control interview. In another way, it kind of felt like an attack. So it's kind of this mixture between an attack and a defense on a boogeyman, kind of a group of people who are making allegations. Though in the interview, no actual allegations are stated. The defense is simply these people are inappropriate. And you're going to hear for yourself. That's not the exact word that was used. So we're going to go through this thing. We're going to pause it and talk about some of the finer points here and debunk some things as well. And I hope it's entertaining, but more importantly, I hope this is a good educational thing for people who are interested in their local government.
And I'll just add this, it's pretty crazy how Slanderson, right, is always openly mocking us, the taxpayers, for asking questions. Even the people in the city council, these people that work, I would say for us, but I would say even, for the city, for the betterment of the city, they tell us all the time, Kyle, that they want our input. They're glad that we're talking. But I said in other videos, like there's a cap to that. Once you start hitting that cap where you're asking too many questions, they're going to start calling you, conspiracy theorists or giving you calling you certain names and mocking you. It's just similar to, like I said, conspiracy theory and that actual word. If you look up, when that was pushed out there and why it was pushed out there, but that's what they do to us now. Now they mock us, for simply asking questions. And if we have allegations or we make content or videos or we go speak at the city council for 3 minutes, why can't we do that? We pay for that microphone. It's off of our hard-earned tax dollars. I digress. So here is the video or the audio, and it's these two right here.
Mayor of Midland joins us. Things here. Number one is you did leave the city council meeting, but everybody knew that you were going to see your daughter.
That's right. Yes, and thanks for having me this morning. I'm happy to have the opportunity to be here with you. I did have to leave the city council meeting early to make it to a flight to go visit my daughter at Annapolis at the Naval Academy. She was celebrating completion of her freshman year with a big ceremony, and so I wanted to be able to be there with her, and we communicated that pretty clearly.
And there are those who said you didn't.
All right. Actually, roll it for a couple more seconds here.
And they had no idea that you were leaving.
Well, I shared it multiple times in the meeting. It's public record.
Okay.
All right.
You can pause it right there. Okay. I rewatched the meeting. That was not voiced. Lori did not tell the public that she would be leaving early until 1 hour and 8 minutes into the meeting. Now you have to understand, at this 1 hour and 8 minutes, here's what had already happened. There was an award ceremony for the Get to Know Midland people. I don't remember what that's called. The group of people that go...
Midland 101.
Yeah, Midland 101. Okay. Very cute. Very nice. Okay. They took pictures. Okay. Yay. Okay. And then there was the John Norman Award ceremony. Very good. Now, between those two things, that took quite a while. Then there was consent agenda, which took actually not as long as it should have because nobody debated anything. It was a long list of things they were going to spend money on and voted for 6-0. Nobody debated anything. Then there was some other items, including planning and zoning items, lots of those that did take a while to get through. Also, there was a discussion about some clearing up some questions about the debt. That was good, though. It's good that they showed that. All we asked was to, by the way, we being not we as an organized group, but a bunch of people that were just there to speak, wrote in there, can you move public comment to before consent agenda? Because if they're already going to be voting on all that stuff, then people don't get a chance to speak on it. So to the spectators there and the participants, I should say, it seemed very inappropriate to refuse to move consent agenda or to move public comment in front of the consent agenda. And then as soon as public comment was about to come around, to get up and leave the meeting with no warning until an hour and 8 minutes right before the public comment was going to be. So that's the reason. Now, I'm not saying it's wrong to go visit your daughter or anything. I don't think anybody's saying that, you shouldn't have done that, or, you should care more about us. That's not what's being said. What's being said is simply, uh, can we be heard here? Can the citizens of Midland be heard? Or are we going to get scolded like a kid in a classroom when we're confused as to why such an abrupt exit has to happen? And it's just from a political strategy point of view. Like it or not, Lori Blong, that was very poor optics. There was no public release of that was going to be happening. So just wanted to clear that up. We can roll the tape.
Well, I just want to add this. I even looked at the meeting. I said, this is going to look really bad. You got Terry Garrett, Midland's favorite legend over here, and she walks out with her smug look on her face. And I even said, this is going to look bad. I mean, and I even captioned it. She walked out on the meeting. I mean, what was wrong with my caption? It's like they get mad about my YouTube, captions or titles. It was nothing, inaccurate about it. She walked out of the meeting. We were not happy, and it was very bad optics. And I'll say real quick, they were all happy, right, about this, 6-0 vote. I want to see some dialogue. I want to see some back and forth. At the Midland MISD meeting, they did it better. They're up there arguing and crying. You know what I'm saying? And about things that are on the agenda. Anyways, the point is, I thought they handled this very poor. And then, like you said, because for the people in layman's terms, guys, we wrote on the paper, when you speak, you have to write on there what agenda item you want to talk about. And then in the comments, many of us did this. We put, move the comments to the beginning, right? Basically before the y'all do these votes, and it makes sense. That way they can hear from the people about our opinion about them voting 6-0, which they did later. That's why we asked them to move the comments towards before everything else, and she blatantly disregarded it. She even says in an interview, I believe, or I think someone asked her, she said, yes, I'm not going to change the way I do it. We put the comments at the end, and we're going to continue doing that. She said that, but I'll continue.
Lori Blong. And you shared it with us, too.
I did share it with you in advance. I came and met with you and said I'm not going to be able to be on KWEL on the Wednesday following council, as is my typical custom, because I needed to make this trip. And so we set up for me to be here today. So I communicated it widely with lots of different folks.
Sure.